everyone, and welcome back to my Painting the Thousand Torii Gates series. This is episode 7, and today I'm going to be adding some more colors to my painting. So right now, even though I spent like all of last episode painting in reds, it's still not red enough. But I had an epiphany when I was doing this episode, and that is the gates in the painting aren't actually red. They're orange. And I was like, my mind was blown, and I had to go in with Pyrrole Orange instead of all the cadmium red I'd been using, and it made such a big difference. And now it actually looks a little bit more like my photo. Off camera, I did this big red stripe at the top. You can kind of see it there, where the lantern is hanging off, and it just really did not look right. And so I did some more research. This is kind of unrelated, but I read a book where it was set in Japan, and they went to this shrine, and they kept describing it as vermilion. And I was like, vermilion is like orange. So then I was like, okay, I have to do this all in orange now, because it makes so much more sense. But right now, I was going in with some Pyrrole Orange mixed with some white and some yellow ochre and cadmium yellow, which was kind of a peachy color. And I was putting that on my friend's hands and doing some highlights down the sides of the shrines. And I did a little bit of work on the lantern there. I added in some black. It was lamp black mixed with cadmium red, so I'm still using cadmium red in some parts, just not on the main red orange of the shrine. But yeah, I haven't actually done anything with that lantern since I painted it in like episode 2. So I thought maybe I should start adding some of those darks in there. But the main thing that I was doing with my black was doing the bottoms of all the shrines. So I have been gradually making them darker, but today I decided to give them the definition, so like they're kind of curved. Before, I just kind of had like lines that kind of did like diagonal things, and it didn't really look like they were curved bottoms of shrines. So I did that today, and I think it looks a lot cleaner, especially when you look closer, like close up at it. And I did the same on the other side. And the other side's not as defined as the left, just because there's a lot more on the right side, so they kind of blend into one line. So I just kind of feathered it a bit. Feathering is like you just kind of do little jutty-outy things in like a straight line. It makes sense when you see it. It looks like a feather, if that makes sense. So this was all lamp black mixed with cadmium red, and also a little bit of burnt sienna. And I know I keep saying never use black, but this black is really nice because it's kind of like a warm black, and it's kind of transparent. So you can mix other colors into it, and the black will change a significant amount. So you can actually tint the black, and it'll look slightly different. And I chose red. I chose to tint it with red because right now, like before, the bottoms of the shrines were really green looking, and that was kind of all right for like a base color, but I felt like I needed to counteract that a little bit. The green's really starting to bother me because I just can't get rid of it. And now that I realized that everything was supposed to be orange, I really should have made it more of like a tealy undercoat instead of green, because now everything kind of has this like gross tinge to it. I was trying to do the more like weather-beaten shrines, and I mixed a nice yellow ochre color, and then I put it on, and it looked lime green, and it was disgusting. So then I had to add like a whole bucket full of burnt sienna to make it even like look like the color when I put it on top. And that's something that's really annoying when you're painting in lots of layers like I do, is because you'll mix like the perfect color on your palette, and it'll look exactly what you want it to look like when you compare it to your picture, and then you put it on your painting, and because you have a whole bunch of other transparent layers, it takes on the colors of everything underneath it, so then sometimes it looks completely different from what you originally envisioned. I'm also adding in some more highlights, just some light yellow things, because there's all of that really deep yellow on the top of that one shrine, and I can't go straight in there with my cadmium yellow because it won't actually show up because it's very transparent, so I have to start layering in cadmium yellow mixed with white to make it show up. And here, on the left side there, I'm finally adding in the pyrrole orange. And that was, I think, just watered down, like straight pyrrole orange. And I put it on and I was shocked because it looked exactly like what I wanted it to. So I basically just glazed in different variations of pyrrole orange, like some with white, some with yellow or red in them, and just put that across the whole painting. I still have to do a little bit more on the tops of the shrines, like on the ceiling bits, especially at the very, very top of the painting, because that's still pretty green. But other than that, like the main colors of the shrines, I think has finally gotten to a place where I'm happy with it. The only thing that I really have to do to make them look more like the shrines is put in some of the really light highlights, like the kind of diagonal strip down the side, and there's also some little shadows that I can do to really make them look like they're round and that they're each their own shrine. And I should do that same thing with the bottoms of the shrines as well. And for each shrine, I'm trying to find the specific color that each shrine is. And I'm using, like, there'll be multiple colors per shrine. So there'll be like a color for the outside, and then there'll be a color for like the middle. Sometimes there's like 3 or 4 different colors per shrine, and I try to make them all flow, which is a lot easier when I use glaze. And I think right here I'm going with a dark brown glaze because I realized that the shrines that were kind of in the middle of the painting were a lot darker than the ones on the outside. So I decided to just glaze those down, try and make them a lot darker. And that's the last thing I did. So here's a little timeline. And here's today's. You could really see the difference with the orange. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot. Sayonara, everyone!